Do you have a tight neck? Are you stretching it all of the time and feeling like you're making no progress? It could actually be a weakness, and because your neck feels weak, all the muscles keep tightening up. So here's how we fix that. So we have 4 positions and we're going to do them on each arm. The 4 positions are pushing into the side, reaching over, pushing into the side, pushing into the back, and pushing into the front. First of all, we need to make sure we roll our shoulders up, back, drop them down, and then tuck the chin slightly. So we're thinking about good posture, standing up as tall as we can before we get into the positions. Then from there, you can do this along with me. With your left hand, press into the side of your head. Then you're going to go 10%, 20%, 30%, pushing sideways. Then you're going to reach over. You're going to push in this way. You're going 10%, 20%, 30%, and then relaxing it down completely. Then behind the head, press in again, 10%, 20%, 30%, relax it off completely, and then face palm, push in 10%, 20%, 30%, and relax it down completely. Then we go on the other arm, push in, right side, press in, 10%, 20%, 30%, we reach over and across, press in, 10, 20, 30, relax it completely. Then press back, 10, 20, 30, relax it completely, and then face palm, 10, 20, 30. And then relax it all completely and make sure your neck is completely relaxed of all tension. Next, we're going to use the yes-no neck stretches. So if you don't know what they are, they're when you add a little bit of a tilt to the neck and then you go up and down and you go left and right. And you do that on both sides. So you lean and you nod yes. And you also have a nod of no. So we're going to pick 3 different positions in those stretches. So we're going to go leaning over to the left side first of all. From there, we're going to tilt ourselves up and we're just going to reach over, grab, and press our head in towards our hand. And we're going to do that same idea, 10%, 20%, 30%, and then relax it off completely. Then bring your head to a more neutral position, still with that tilt, and then again, 10%, 20%, 30%, relax it off completely, and then tilt right down, get a bit of a stretch in the back of the neck. Same idea, 10%, 20%, 30%, and then relax completely. And then we go for our no stretch. So we tilt and we chin to shoulder. We then go to the back of the head, 10%, 20%, 30%, and then we go neutral again, 10%, 20%, 30%, and then we look up to the sky, still keeping that same tilt. We pull 10%, 20%, 30%, and relax it off. Then from there, we go to the other side. So we lean over, other shoulder, we reach back, chin up to the sky, reach up and over, 10%, 20%, 30%, relax, straight, 10%, 20%, 30%, and relax, and then tilt the chin down, 10%, 20%, 30%, relax, and then to our nose, so chin down to shoulder, keeping that same tilt, up and over, 10%, 20%, 30%, and then look forward, 10%, 20%, 30%, and then up to the sky, 10%, 20%, 30%, and relax it completely and give it a little bit of a shake off. You can do these neck tension exercises about once a day, and over time you can add a little bit more tension, but it's not really needed. You don't have massive muscles here. You just want to build that little bit up, and you're also teaching yourself to relax the muscles after you build the tension as well, which is really important. Your neck has an incredible scope for movement and can move in so many different ways. You need to make sure that you're moving it regularly and also putting tension into those positions, and that's what stops it from getting grumpy.